is day one with my new job today. I'll be training for the next 5 days. I'm a little bit nervous about it because it's something totally different that I'm used to. I'll be dealing with double trailers, a B-train, and I've been told by friends that it's a lot different than what you're used to as for driving a regular trailer. So I'm a little nervous about it. The gentleman I'm training with, his name is Chris from DCT Chambers. Seems like a really nice guy.
You know, for the longest time, I could never tell what the initials stood for on these trucks because the calligraphy. So it's DCT.
Yes. I know. I was the same way when I started.
I finally learned that. I had to come into the office to learn that.
I kept on saying DRT.
The company that has chosen to give me an opportunity, they are called DCT Chambers, and their head office, I believe, is in Vernon, but they have a terminal out here in Abbotsford. And they haul wood chips, I think sawdust, and hog fuel.
So you've driven straight trailer.
Yep.
Have you done straight deck?
Yep.
So what is the difference between backing up one of those and one of these with the doubles?
Well, the difference is you have a second articulation in your trailers.
Yeah.
So you have an extra pivot point when you're backing up.
Okay.
So when you're with a single trailer, a truck in a single trailer, when you're backing up, you got to turn your steering wheel the opposite you would in your car.
Yeah.
When you have that second pivot point on your trailer, you turn your steering wheel the same direction as your car.
Yeah.
Because you're turning the one trailer in one direction, which is pushing your back trailer in the opposite direction.
Okay.
So your back trailers would be turning the same as where your truck is turning.
So if you're fresh out of, say, driving school, you've got no experience driving any kind of highway truck, it's probably going to be a lot easier for you to pick up on that because you're used to just driving your car that way.
Absolutely.
But for someone like me that's been driving 53-foot trailers for the last 8 years, this is going to be a whole new learning experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I was talking to my friend Glenn, as I was telling you earlier, and he told me, just forget about everything that you've learned.
Yep. Because I flip everything up. Watch yourself. I flip everything up. That way I don't get anything hot on when I'm rolling the carts.
Well, there seems to be a lot to remember here. There's quite a routine. And I didn't even bring a notepad.
99.9% of them are. Some of them will, like they're under here, but
Right.
they're just the really old trailers. You know? Climb up. So as far as here, let's do this one back.
There's a lot to know here. Almost a bit confusing. So today I decided I'm just going to watch Chris do his thing, watch him maneuver the truck and see how wide he needs to take his turns, just to be an observer today.
Rope forward, stand it nice and tight, tie them up so they stay. Undo this one, and just let it lay. And there's your gauge. We're just about at where we need to be.
So what's the red mark on there for?
Top of the gauge is where you want to be. If you go a little bit over, you're fine.
Oh, the top of the red? Oh, so you already knew. So generally, how much wider do you make a turn with the double trailers than you would with a single?
Extra half lane.
Maybe another, let's say, extra length on the,
Yeah, extra
lane?
half a lane on the highway.
half a lane?
Half a lane on any corner.
Yeah, I find this work so far to be quite exciting.
Yeah, I love this. It gives me a bit of highway work, yet still puts me home every night.
Yeah, gives you that thrill of the highway that a trucker misses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when I came off the road a couple of years ago, I went to go work for a garbage company, and I can't tell you, like the first month was okay, new experience and everything. And then all of a sudden you start getting that hunger. You see the big tankers pulling in the area. You're like, oh, I just want to get back out there, even for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So this gives you that. Gives you the dose that you need.
Yeah.
Gives you your fix.
Exactly. That's a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
A trucker, it gets in your blood.
Yeah.
I absolutely love what I do.
Yeah.
I love this. Being behind the wheel, it's like having an office where your walls are always different than you met.
Exactly. And I love the fact that the day cab,
Yes.
now you can see everything behind you, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Especially like what we were thinking, when you're putting your chains on, you can keep an eye on
Exactly.
what's going on.
Where your tires are, where your chains are.
So what do you do in a situation where you end up, you're heading to, say, Williams Lake, and the highway's closed, and now it's there. So I guess you're making do in your day cab.
Yeah.
So always bring extra water, extra food, or whatever.
Yes.
Or you got those trips?
I have a case of water down here.
Yeah.
I always have water in my truck.
Yeah. I always use it too. I see you got an inverter down there too.
Yep, that inverter powers my satellite, my radio.
Okay. know what? I can already feel the difference, the power of this truck compared to the other trucks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight behind us.
And you're holding it pretty easy.
And I'm doing 40 clicks, which is pretty impressive. I've come up here with a tandem, a fully loaded tandem, and crawling slower than this.
And the Great Bear Snow Shed, I can't tell you how many times I drove up and down that hill.
A little bit of drive time. It's snowing!
It's snowing!
Jay, are they expecting much up here?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
Oh well. Not gonna be too much, I'm sure. Yeah, just thought I'd have a little bit extra time driving there. You're sinking to the ground. It's not my legs are actually no, it is my legs are short.
Valley coming into yard. I'll be on your way in a sec. I just gotta lock the back gate.
I do everything in order for a specific reason. This comes undone, so when you get over there, you can open up this.
Okay.
Set up the airline. Up your air. Release the stuff on your tree.
And that opens the door, or?
That'll open the door once it tips up.
Okay.
Okay? Come to the spoiler here.
So that air is just releasing the air in the
On the airbags.
yeah, okay.
Then you come to here. And you see the reason you do it in that order is that way your legs will be cranked down far enough, your airbags will drop down, and you can pull out without dropping the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. So just dropping your air. Just like dropping your drive air.
Well, yeah, exactly. Same idea. That way you're not dropping the legs of the trailer right onto the tipper.
Right.
It's funny when you see him drive onto these things and separate his trailers, you're kind of wondering, because I've never seen how a tipper works before, and you kind of wonder what is going to happen here.
Up, down, vibrate.
And the vibrator just gets the rest of the crap out
Once
of it.
it's up, vibrate it for 5 seconds, let it rest for 10 seconds. If you need to vibrate again, vibrate again.
I guess the load that he had for Princeton, something happened, and I guess they canceled it. So we're on our way back to Abbotsford now. Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Bible Break. Trucker Ray back with you once again as we continue our series in Revelation. Today it's chapter 8. And I just wanted to say that when it says in this book at the end of Revelation, it says, those who hear these words and read these words will receive blessings. Now, I can't tell you how blessed I have felt and the things that have happened in my life since I started reading this book of Revelation and sharing it with you. So I hope you've been blessed as much as I have. Again, today we're on chapter 8. It's not a very long chapter, so we'll get started right away. And I hope you are enjoying it. Feel free to leave comments on the bottom if you have any questions regarding it. What you think. Let me know if you've been blessed by it. Let me know if the Lord has shared something with you. Let me know if the Lord has given you a revelation of what some of this prophecy has revealed to you. Excuse me. I always love to hear it. I will never claim that I know everything in here. I don't. I am only reading it, and I'm only discerning what God has revealed to me. So if God is showing you something else, feel free to share it. I would love to hear it. All right, chapter 8. As we begin, excuse me, the blowing of the trumpets, chapter 8. When he opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for about a half an hour. Now think about this. Silence in heaven for a half an hour. If we look in regular scripture, if we look in Revelation later on, we will see that angels are singing, they're praising God all the time. It's probably like a symphony up there. And as soon as this seal is open, the seventh seal, there's silence. Silence for half an hour. That must have been a bit eerie. But this shows you how serious this is. The seriousness of the trumpets. The seriousness of what's going to happen next. Verse 2. And I saw the 7 angels who stand before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. Then another angel having a golden censer came and stood at the altar. He was given much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense with the prayers of the saints ascended before God from the angel's hand. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and threw it to the earth. And there were noises, thunderings, lightnings, and an earthquake. A lot of earthquakes during this time of tribulation. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot in this regular place. Verse 6. So the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. Verse 7. The first angel sounded, and hail and fire followed, mingled with blood, and they were thrown to the earth, and 1/3 of the trees were burned up, and all the grass were burned up. Then the second angel sounded, and something like a great mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea, and 1/3 of the sea became blood. Don't you find this fascinating that all these judgments, all these things that are happening happen to 1/3 of the earth, 1/3 of the people? What do you think that's trying to tell us? Is this focusing on the Middle East area? 1/3 of the earth. Is this focusing to open the eyes of the Jewish people? One can only tell. But I find that fascinating. As we continue on, you will see, and as I continue here, verse 9, and 1/3 of the living creatures of the sea died, and 1/3 of the ships were destroyed. What do you think this is? A mountain on fire falling into the sea. Sounds like a meteor. And if it's a meteor, I can see that easily destroying 1/3 of the fish and whatever ships are in the area from the tsunami, just from this thing landing in the water. Sounds like to me it could be a meteor. I'm only speculating. All right, verse 10. Then the 3rd angel sounded, and a great star fell from heaven, burning like a torch, and it fell on the 1/3 of the rivers and on the springs of water. 1/3 again. Verse 11. The name of the star is wormwood. 1/3 of the waters became wormwood, and many men died because of the water, because it made it bitter. Wormwood is another definition of bitter, poisonous. You're not able to drink it. So I can see that this thing that comes to the earth, probably it almost sounds like another meteor. It poisons all the waters, so nobody's got anything to drink. Some serious judgment here. Verse 12. Then a 4th angel sounded, and 1/3 of the sun was struck, 1/3 of the moon, and 1/3 of the stars, so that 1/3 of them were darkened, 1/3 of the day did not shine, and likewise the night. You see what I'm talking about here? How 1/3? It's 1/3 of everything. So we've got the 4th angel sounding, and 1/3 of the sun was struck, and 1/3 of the moon. Sounds like something's happening where half of the sky is totally black. And this could be from dust. This could be from the meteor that hit. This could be from the earthquake that happened. That we know when an earthquake happens. They say that if that volcano goes, Yellowstone Park, half of North America or most of North America won't see the sun because of all the ashes and the smoke. So this sounds like to me something is blocking the sun, something is blocking the moon and the stars, where you're not going to see a whole lot. It's put everything into darkness. So this could be because of an earthquake. This could be because of a meteor that struck. Verse 13. And I looked, and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the remaining blasts of the trumpet of the 3 angels who are about to sound. That means there's 3 more trumpets to blow. And the angel is saying, Woe, woe, woe. That's scary. He's saying, more or less, you ain't seen nothing yet. The next 3 trumpets are going to be devastating. And this is just the trumpets. And then we have the bowls. God's really trying to get our attention. He's really trying to get people to come to repentance. He is not pouring out this judgment on the earth because he's a mean God or he's an evil God. He's trying to get people's attention. He wants people to come to repentance because he knows what the outcome is going to be when all of this is final. When all of this is final, we are going to end up living a life separated from God. That's hell. And I want to make one thing very clear. God does not send anyone to hell. People send themselves there. By rejecting Jesus Christ, you are separating yourself from God. There is no other plan afterwards. You are either living with Christ or you are either living apart from Christ. And if you're living apart from Christ, that is hell. That is full separation from God. And I really hope you choose to live with Christ. On our next episode of Bible Break, we will look at chapter 9 of Revelation. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Hello Ray, it's Niall O'Connor here from Dublin, Ireland. I wanted to say I love your channel, Life on the Road with Yeshua and Trooper Ray. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And every week I look forward to see your uploads. Can't wait to see the next one. You've done a great job, buddy. Cheers.
So today I am going to be running most of the show. I'm going to do a little bit of driving so I can get used to how the trailer pushes when you hit your brakes after it's fully loaded. And I think Chris will take over once we get back on the Coquihalla Highway. And then I'll be doing a lot of I'll be taking the tarps off and just showing me what I need to do when it comes down to dumping the load. So today's going to be a little bit more interactive for me. I'm going to be doing a little bit more than I did yesterday.
Okay, now you can start turning. Yep, way over. Back this way. Come back. And then swing it wide again. Now you can start coming back.
Which way are we going?
You want to go out and straighten out. You want your trailer's pretty straight when you're trying to back in. Swing it back this way a little bit. So you can see your trailers are pretty straight.
So are we going straight back?
Try to go straight back, yep.
Try to go straight back, he says. Easier said than done. Oh my gosh, trying to back this thing up is not easy. It is not easy. Totally different from backing up a regular trailer. Wow.
Well, then probably the most disappointing team out of the blocks. Yeah, looking at you for it.
I really don't know if his hand signals were helping me anything. I thought an airplane was going to land soon. Oh my goodness, I'm turning a little bit this way and the trailer's wanting to go that way, and I try to correct it, and then it's going the other way, and then I go forward, and then I go back. At some point in time during this process, I'm thinking to myself, can I even do this? It's difficult.
Okay. Punch with a jackknife. Okay.
So let me ask you, how long did it take you to learn to back these things up?
Oh, quite a while. But I was pulling extended length in Alberta.
Yeah.
So I was backing up 253s with the A converter, which gives you another pivot point you have to back up with.
Oh, geez. 3 of them?
Yeah, because you get an attachment on the front with your A converter. The front part of your converter attaches to the back of the trailer,
Right.
on a pintle hitch. Then you have your 5th wheel. So you have 2 pivot points right here. So you actually have 3 trailers that you got to back up when you're pulling 2.
Joy. So actually, if you're doing 3 trailers, wouldn't you back that up like a regular trailer then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the extra
So I
trailer
just need one more trailer and I'm okay.
well, it takes a lot of practice to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, wood chips all in my hair.
Oh, you will.
That's okay. It's better than dandruff.
Some would say. there coming out too.
Can I get by him there? I should be able to do it.
You should be able to do it, right?
He's going to the morning.
I don't need that much room.
Yeah. That's all I know. I'm not taking
Stay over here till you get right up to him and then over. Okay. 10K an hour through it.
Yep, I remember.
All right, so we're all done in Merritt, so now we're heading to Penticton, or is it
Princeton.
And that's a regular mill that you go to
Yes.
on this route.
Yes.
So what do we have to look forward to there?
We'll be, we have a chance of either loading out of the bins or loading with the loader again. We're loading chips out of Princeton. And they will be going to Port Kells, S&R.
But we're going to be taking it to the yard?
Yes,
And
we'll be
then
taking
tomorrow
them to the
morning
yard
we'll be
tonight.
dumping those?
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll be dumping them in the morning.
So when you mention loading from the bins, what's the difference between that and the loader?
Well, the bins are, they've got a row of 6 bins at the mill. And they load chips out of the mill straight into the bins.
So they're
which are
preloaded?
sitting, yes, which are sitting above the height of a trailer
Okay.
by an extra foot, maybe foot and a half, 2 feet. The bins, each bin opens up with a set of clamshells underneath,
Yeah.
and they separate and open to load into your trailers.
So do we manually do that, or do they do that?
We manually do that.
Okay, so is that a mess?
No. No.
I'm
it's
just
not.
thinking wood chips everywhere.
No.
So
the clamshells only open up to be about 2.5 to 3 feet wide.
Okay.
Maximum.
So does it move?
No.
So we have to move the trailers ahead
Yes.
when we've reached the weight we want.
Yes, we pull into it. We load up whichever bin we're underneath. We load the trailer in that spot.
Uh-huh.
We move the trailer forward. We load in the next spot on the same trailer to fill it up. Once that's filled up, we pull forward and start filling up the back trailer.
Okay, so roughly between Merritt and Princeton, how long of a drive are we looking at?
Hour and 15.
An hour and 50. And you couldn't ask for a nicer day.
It's beautiful out here.
I love autumn. The colors, the fresh air.
Yeah,
It's got a different smell in the air.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
One thing that I'm really happy about is that I still get to drive some of the most beautiful landscape in the world, and that is along Highway 1 and the Coquihalla Highway, Highway 3 and 5A. Those are all the routes we're going to be doing today. No, actually, we won't be doing Highway 1. Past Hope, we won't. But Coquihalla Highway, Highway 3, and Highway 5A, Meriden to Princeton. I'm looking forward to it. That's beautiful landscape.
Guessing you hit the scale first?
Nope.
No? Or are you way out on the way out? Because they already know your weight?
Yep. The only way, we don't scale, like we don't punch tickets here.
Okay.
We just do up our bill and leave. We just load up our trailers either off the wall, which is the loader, or out of the bins, and we judge by our scales on the trailers and the truck.
Yeah.
How much we have in there. We know roughly where our scales need to be for a full load, and we just load the trailers accordingly. And it looks like we'll be loading out of the bins because there's no loader here. And there's usually no loader guy here between 3:30 and 5.
So this is where we're going to do the tarps?
Yep. We do, which we really hope the bins are full. Which, that's where they come out when the bins are full.
Yeah.
That top piece there.
Yeah.
It drains out of there. All the chips come onto the ground here when the bins are full. So they're not coming out of there, so they're draining into the bins.
Okay.
It takes half an hour to fill up one bin.
And what do they require here for safety? All the regular stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
Our paperwork is. Grab one of our bills.
This is ours here?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's two places you can turn the bins on. There's a button down in the shack down there. That's the same as the button that's up here.
Okay. So what I'm kind of curious about, you're eyeballing somewhere where you're stopping. What is it you're lining up here?
That.
This bin
front
here
of
with
that
this
bin,
one?
I needed to be into the front of this trailer.
So which one is it? The third one?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so the third one you're lining up, say even right there.
Yeah. You turn this on. You can't hear it coming on, can you?
No.
That means that switch down there is in the wrong position.
Okay.
It needs to be coming out this way. Because the guy that we seen up at the top there loads out of here.
Okay.
And when it's down like that, he loads out of that bin. When it's across, I can load out of these.
So we have to wait, or?
No, I'm sending you down there to
Okay.
flip that switch.
All right. So this one up?
Yep. Like that. These are the switches for all of the, each one has its own switch. Bin. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, so that switch
3.
over there, that one's for that bin? Or this one?
Yep. Give it a pull. Stop. Pull it, some more will come out. And then start closing it.
And start what?
Just start closing it. You don't want it to open wide open because it'll fill up too fast. And then you don't know how heavy it's going to be.
Oh, you're watching your gauge
Yes.
there, right? And you can almost eyeball that too.
Yeah.
So where's the other gauge for this one that we'll be looking at?
We looked at there
Yeah.
and back there.
Okay. So
This one.
the big question is, how do you top that up without overflowing that?
Like that.
So it only could put so much on there.
Yeah.
And it just oh, I see.
Over both back. Either dead on or a little pass back because I want the chips to stay back in the trailer.
I just learned something. Don't stand in the way of the wind. Oh yeah.
See the roller flatten it out so it's almost level with the.
Yeah.
Gonna flatten it out
That's where
just
you,
enough.
that's a spot you're okay with.
Yep. Remember, I told you one of these to roll up with the tarps?
Yeah.
This is why.
Oh yeah. How do you throw that up when you got that thing in the way?
Exactly.
Voila.
If you want to get onto your load to flatten it out or anything like that,
Okay.
jump onto here
Oh,
and move it to where you want it to go.
how about that? So you can stomp it down if you need to.
Yep.
Neato. They thought of everything, didn't they?
Yep.
But it should be okay the way it is, eh?
We went over the scale and we were overweight on our bridge, which is our tridem, and our back of our B blocks, which is a tandem. So we have to reduce just over 1,000 kgs off the load. Lift these doors open. Close that so that holds the door up. And we start reducing some of the load.
It's kind of interesting when you're at another yard or you're picking up another load and you're overweight, you have to find a way to rework your load. Here, you just dump some of it. That's a lot better.
Well, I can see up there how it looks. You can see it's past it. That's the gauge we're looking for though, isn't it?
Yes. Pull a plow out of here to the top of this,
Yeah,
and the pile is up to here,
yeah,
and reduces 500 kgs.
okay.
Don't need to reduce quite that much. That's all we're going to pull out of there. We only got a little bit we need to pull off the bridge. We got a lot we got to pull off the back.
So that's the main one is the back. Because it was 800 over?
Yes, 850 over. And you can see
Yeah.
We're
It's
up at
way
70.
way past its mark. Are you
So-
gonna let it out the back?
Yep.
You gonna be able to get it closed again?
Open this up.
Merry Christmas.
Like I said, the back is the easiest to reduce.
I guess so. Oh, I see it. Kind of just sits there. It'll come down, but the whole thing doesn't come out. It just kind of comes down in layers.
Yep. Okay, after the second reduction in the load, we're on our way.
You know, it's amazing though. It doesn't really seem like that. Those chips that came out, that it contained that much weight.
You wouldn't think so, no,
No,
but it does.
it just seems like it's so light.
Yeah. But you get a little bit of moisture, just a little bit of moisture in each chip, and that, like half a drop of moisture in each chip will double the weight of that chip.
Wow.
And you're talking, like each per chip, you're like talking grams. So 2 grams for a chip instead of 1 or 1.5 grams a chip
Yeah.
makes a huge difference.
All right. Back to the beach we go.
Back to the beach we go.
chip hauling for how long?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half?
Year,
Okay.
year and a half, year and a
So
quarter.
do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah. So what do you figure are the pros and cons of this type of work? I mean, dealing with an extra trailer and just doing this work in general, because it can be demanding. You're crawling on top of a trailer and rolling tarps on, and that's in nice weather, but in the bad weather it must be pretty miserable too. So, you know, overall, again, what are the pros and cons for you?
Well, the pro is I'm home every night.
Yeah.
I make a very comfortable living. I have every weekend, every long weekend off. I have the ability to work the occasional weekend if I choose to.
I'm guessing the pay is decent.
Yes, pay is very decent. It gives me the opportunity to actually have a life rather than being on the road.
Yeah.
My wife loves me being home
Yeah.
every night. The cons, I'm not a small guy, so jumping up and down on the trailers and rolling tarps is a little bit of a challenge for me.
Yeah.
The rush that you have to be here, and you have to be here, and you have to be here, and you got a certain amount of time to do it.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a con. I like to be able to have the ability to, or the flexibility in my day a little bit more.
Yeah.
That being said, with this company, they do flex quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of cons involved in it.
I noticed a lot of the guys that when they did the chain refresher course, a lot of them are really friendly. Everyone was,
Yep.
you know, you didn't sense any kind of someone's looking down their nose at you or anything.
Oh, no.
They all treat you equal, which was
Yeah,
really
there's
nice.
no condescension in this company at all.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
The other drawback is running in PC. You're always running on mountain roads,
Yeah.
so you're going to be chaining up quite a bit.
Yeah, don't I know it?
Oh, maybe not quite a bit. I've only chained up probably 6 times, maybe
Yeah.
4 to 6 times in the last year and a half. So it hasn't been too bad.
It all depends on the weather. I mean, sometimes we get decent, not a bad winter. Some winters are really bad.
Yes.
So it all depends. Like they have the new highways, new highway departments are going to be taking care of the coke and this, and so you know, hopefully that'll be better. We won't have to see as many chain up opportunities.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
The other con with this job is loading and unloading can get very dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dust can be choking a bit, but
Yeah.
the cons that are in this job are not close to some of the cons in other jobs that I've had.
Yeah.
The pros
They outweigh them.
far
big time.
outweigh
Yeah.
the cons.
Well, just yesterday, for the last couple days, being able to go home. This is the second day. But just being able to go home like yesterday and waking up, having a coffee, and going to work, knowing you get to go home and knowing you get that weekend off, it's such a blessing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so
Absolutely.
nice. You can actually plan your life. When I was out there on the highway, I could never plan my life. Even on a reset, I never knew where I was going to reset.
Yep.
And where am I spending that reset? In my truck.
The majority of the time, yes, you are.
So it's nice, and it also you're adapting to something new. I use the terminology that I felt like I've been locked up in a prison for 8 years, and I've been let out, and it's like it's weird. It feels weird, but you're still getting your trucking fix.
Yes, you are
out here, right?
You're running on some decent. You have some decent distances, half decent roads, beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful scenery.
Yeah,
Even on a bad day, it's beautiful out here.
yeah.
It feels weird. We've spent an entire day doing our driving, and now we're heading back home, and I get to go home tonight and have a warm meal. It just feels weird. I don't know. It's going to take some time getting used to this. But I like it. I like it.
Well, you know what, Chris? Just in the last couple of days, I've learned from you that the job is fun, but also very challenging, and there's lots to learn. It's a whole lot different than a straight trailer.
Yep.
And yeah, I think we got another day tomorrow.
One more day, yeah.
One more day to learn a little bit more about this. But yeah, you know what? I really appreciate, you know, your wisdom. And
I got you buffaloed already.
yeah, it's been a pretty amazing experience, and I'm actually looking forward to the challenge. I really am.
Yes, I think you're going to do very well here.
Thank you.
Very well.